Rudyard Kipling's Guide to Critical Evaluation. Rudyard Kipling wrote a children's book called Just So Stories at the beginning of the 20th century. At the end of one of these stories is a little poem which is very useful to help us in looking at critical evaluation of any academic text or our own work. The first verse starts, I keep 6 honest serving men. They taught me all I knew. Their names are what and why and when and how and where and who. I send them over land and sea. I send them east and west. But after they have worked for me, I give them all a rest. Now, let's look at these 6 honest serving men in individual questions. What, when, who, where, how, and why? Let's ask these questions of any academic text we read, of any piece of research, and of our own work before we hand in an assignment. First, let's look at the questions of context. What, when, who, and where? What is this piece of research? When was it produced? Is it an old piece of research or is it quite new? Who is involved? How many? If you're looking at a piece of research that's quite old, it may not be relevant today. If you're looking at a small sample, it may be insufficient to actually prove a particular point made by the author. You might need to look at it in terms of its location. Where is this study conducted? Its results may depend on a geographical area or the particular group that's involved. These are all questions of context that you should be considering when you're looking at a piece of work. Don't take it at face value. Ask yourself these questions, and if you're not satisfied with the answer, say so when you evaluate the work. Now let's look at a question of method. That question is how. How was the study done? How does this piece of equipment work? How does this model work? That's a question of method. And lastly, and most importantly, there's the question of evaluation. Why? Why is this important? If the author says that it's so significant, does the author prove it? Why is the question you should ask yourself whenever you make a statement in an essay. If you don't actually put down the answer to that, we haven't got much sense of whether you are evaluating your own work or the work of others. Critical evaluation is important in doing academic work, and these 6 honest serving men, what, when, who, where, how and why, are vital for you to evaluate any piece of work. Oh, and by the way, here's a joke about Kipling. Do you like Kipling? I don't know, you naughty boy. I have never kippled. Thank you for listening.